Hi, guys. It is Pam telling tales, and I am here for day four of our panel chat with the authors of the 200 free book extravaganza. I am so excited to be able to do this for you guys. I am reporting live from, no, I'm not. I'm not reporting live. Child, I'm in Atlanta. I'm at the book club conference, and I still want to be able to come to you guys so that these authors can tell you a little bit about themselves. So we are going to go ahead and get them introduced to you all. So without further ado, I want you all to give a virtual welcome to all of my panelists for tonight. First up, we have CA Miconi. Wait for him. Hey there. She is a small town steamy romance and interracial romance novelist. Next, we have Sonya Jesus, who is a romantic suspense and thriller novelist. Wave and tell the people hello there for us. And then we have
Hi.
Karen Bond. So if you want to go ahead and wave for us, Karen is a contemporary romance novelist. And then we have Chi Chi, and she's an urban romance novelist.
Hi.
And then lastly, but certainly not least, we have Jean Knight, who is a women's fiction and memoir writer. So that is our panel for tonight, and I am going to give all of these lovely ladies the opportunity to talk to you guys about the types of books that they read, who they are, and why you should be picking up their book come August the 4th through the 6th for this free book extravaganza. So, first up, I am going to let Miss C.A. Miconi take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. Happy to be with you today. I have two books in the 200 free books promotion. The first one is probably my favorite out of everything I've written so far. It's called Be One With Me. It is an interracial romance and told in my small town steamy world. It's a much of an opposites attract story, city versus country, small town versus big city, black female and white male. And I also like writing older characters, more mature characters. So these guys are in their early 40s. And I call Sally, the heroine, my 40-year-old secret baby because her mother makes a deathbed confession that she has a father out somewhere in the world and she wants her to find him when she passes because she grew up thinking she never had a father. And that's what leads her to the small town. My books take place in a fictional small town in Mississippi, modeled after the small town in Virginia that I grew up in. And my second book in the promo is the story of Sally's parents. You wonder what happened and why she never knew she had a father and why her mother kept that from her. And so her parents' story is actually a throwback story to the mid-70s. They met in college, and once again, it was sort of a small town versus big city. Black versus white, during a time when universities, especially in the South, because it takes place in the University of Georgia, were newly integrated and the worlds were very separate. And this is how two very different people came together as Sally's parents. So those are my books in the promo. I'm excited for you to read them. And hope you enjoy them if you pick them up.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, small town steamy romance. If we had to put this on a scale of 1 to 5 on how steamy it is, what would you give?
Well, I tend to write in that particular series, I would give it a 4 out of 5, with 5 being BDSM. My stories aren't BDSM, but they are pretty explicit, open door on the page. So if you like a little steam, you'll like my small town stories.
All right, people. Well, you heard it. We on the 4 to 5 scale on the steamy. Okay, now CA. I like to hear it. I like to.
I do like writing more mature stories, although the throwback story, obviously it's a college love story because I had to tell the story about the parents. But most of my books are mid 30s and up. I like writing 40s and 50s. So if you check out some of my other books, you'll definitely be reading more mature characters.
Awesome, awesome. So, thank you so much for that. And we're going to move over to one of our other panelists. Now, you guys, before this started, me and her, we were going back and forth because, admittingly, I am terrible with pronouncing things. I will practice it a million over, and then when it's time to actually say it, I still get it wrong. I don't know why God made me this way. He just, okay. So I am going to introduce our next romantic suspense thriller novelist to you guys, and I'm going to let her talk to you. And I'm going to make my earnest attempt to say this properly. Now, if I say it wrong, I just need you all to know. Everybody else on this panel, don't y'all laugh at me. Okay? All right. So next up, we have Miss Sonya Jesus.
You got it. Hi, everyone. You did.
Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sonya Jesus. I'm a USA Today bestselling author. I'm currently in Europe writing a series with my co-author, who, and this book is actually the first book of the series, is actually in the Cavalcade promotion. It's called Brink of Denial. Um, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. And I've been told that I'm a unicorn loving science nerd weirdo who writes romantic thrillers about psychos and proxy killers and obsessive stalkers. But I'm usually very easygoing, always have a smile on my face, and I'm all about paying it forward. So I do have 2 books in this promotion. The first one is a new adult romantic suspense called Don't Dare Love. This is a complete series that's available on Amazon. And this follows it follows the evolution of an obsessive stalker into a very prominent serial killer on a college campus. So Leah, or Amelia, is his fixation. And she's a virgin. And he's fixated on her, keeping her a virgin. And the closer she is to finding love and losing her virginity, the more he unravels. And so while she's deciding who she's going to give her heart to, they might not survive. And Brink of Denial is a second chance mafia romance with a very heavy thriller aspect. Our female MC is Mila, and she is a very successful model who gets caught up in a blackmailing scheme by a hacker, and the hacker releases a sex tape. And so she turns to her ex-boyfriend, who is a mafia king, to help her out of it. And that's those 2 books.
Oh, okay. Oh yes, I'm here for all of this. Once you said, I knew I was gonna be a fan. I don't know why I like stalker stuff, but I do. I do. And for all out there, if you like, So it sounds like you're probably gonna pick this one up. So mark your calendars, people. Fourth through the sixth. Okay, that's your opportunity. Other than that, you're gonna have to pay, which is still fine. But go pick it up August fourth through the sixth. Okay. Next up, we have Miss Karen Bond, who is our contemporary romance novelist. Karen, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself, I'm Jamaican. I'm an expat. I live in New York State. Currently, I'm in Virginia, in Richmond, but I live in New York State. I've been here for, I'm going to say 34 years. I had to think for a minute. And I've been writing full time since I retired from public education in 2015. I write contemporary romance, but I write them about older adults, and they're interracial romances, Black women and white men, although I am branching out into other racial couplings. And the two books that I'm offering both have at least one character who is 40 and above. So the first one that I'm offering, it's called His Christmas Love. It's the first novel in what has become my 12th Day of Christmas series. And it's about a nurse who works in a palliative care facility. She works in, I guess it would be like a hospice care hospital. She's 48 years old. She's divorced with 3 children. She meets and falls in love with Rafe, who is Italian. He lives in Milan. She lives in New York City. Well, actually, she lives in a suburb of New York City, which I don't name, but which I have dreamed of as Mount Vernon, where I used to live before I moved up to the boondocks. And Rafe has never been in love. He's 40 years old, and she's concerned about his age. She's concerned about the fact that he is her ex's friend. She and her ex are friends. It wasn't a bad falling out. But anyway, that's that story. They meet at Christmas. She's going out of the coffee shop. He's going into the coffee shop. There's spilled coffee. There's a messed up pea coat. He pays for her Uber ride home to Mount Vernon. That's not cheap from New York City. And they get to meet each other because, unbeknownst to her, her ex invited him to Christmas dinner. It's a really cute story. I wrote it in 3.5 weeks, and it's like 40-something thousand words. Don't ask me how I did that, but they were talking to me, so I went where they led. The second story is about an event planner who is just starting out on her own business after having worked with another company for a while. She's 31 years old. She's looking after her father who's ailing, and he dies in the story. And the guy that she falls for is a 43-year-old chef who has restaurants all over the States as well as in other areas of the world. And they're working on his little brother's wedding, and she has concerns about them having any sort of relationship outside the professional one. But in the meantime, her father is ill and dying. And then when he dies, Dom is the one who is there for her because her older brother is a corpsman in the Navy and her older sister is a lawyer in New York, and she doesn't get along with anybody in her family except the brother who isn't there. And there are a lot of great recipes. I had one reviewer who said to me, the thing I don't like about this story is you didn't put the recipes at the back of the book. And so that's my story in a nutshell. I was a ghostwriter before I started writing for myself. So there's that too.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, you can always go back and put those recipes in there if you wanted to.
Yes, I know.
Well, thanks so much for sharing that with us. And then next up, we have Chichi. Let me get you started here. Right.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
It's well. We're doing well. Well, I'm doing well.
Yes, yes. So I am the author of Just Like Old Times, which is really like my return to romance writing. It is a remake, or I'd say a new and improved version of a story I wrote 10 years ago. Urban romance, definitely spicy. I like to say that I like to write real life with a scoop of spice. And depending on how big your scoops are, I mean, it might be a couple of scoops. But yes, so Just Like Old Times is going to be in the Cavalcade free offering. It is about two characters, Tristan and Trey. They were college lovers, and then they separated because like Trey ghosted Tristan, and Tristan never found out. And then they end up meeting back up, just kind of like, you know, a dose of fate because it's romance. And they meet back up 7 years later. And in that 7 years, they have to figure out and overcome really like what tore them apart. But first, Trey's got to come clean about it. If you love like nostalgia and things like that, it does kind of flip back and forth in time. So you'll get to see how their relationship developed in college, and you'll get to see how they're doing current day as well. It does take place in Cleveland. It has some really funny secondary characters like Trey's younger brother, Derek. If you love, let me see, if you love accomplished women and charismatic, successful men, then this is going to be your jam.
Oh, I love to hear it. I hear it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
then last, but again, like I said, not least on the list is Miss Jean Knight. Miss Jean Knight, will you come on over here and tell the people a little bit about yourself? You said.
Hello. I'm excited to be here. I think I'm kind of the cinnamon roll of the group. I write sweeter stuff, no spice, a little kissing, so it's kind of wild. I have two books in the event, and the first one is called From Ashes. It is about a volunteer firefighter who gets a flat in rural Kentucky and ends up going to a tire shop with his young daughter, kind of falling for the receptionist, but she's not too keen on a relationship. She's coming out of a past of abuse and isn't sure she wants to plunge into something. I got the idea for this book from a billboard that I saw where there was a firefighter, and they take abandoned babies at fire stations sometimes. And I thought, what would happen if the firefighter kind of fell in love with the baby and wanted to adopt the baby? And it turns out that does happen in real life sometimes. So that kind of sparked, oh my gosh, did you hear that? Sparked the idea for my firefighter book. And his former wife adopt one of the babies that came to the fire station, and she ends up dying from cancer, leaving him a single dad. So if you like sweet single dads, if you like sexy firefighter-y heroes, if you like chocolate, and if you like stories of recovery and atonement, you'll like that. And then I also have a memoir in the book. It is not my memoir. It is my friend's memoir that I helped her write. So it's Hershin and recovery. She got addicted to cocaine and crystal meth back in the 90s. Her life fell apart. She started selling. She became involved with Mexican drug cartel. Everything was crazy. And bit by bit, over time, she started to pull her life back together. And this is her story. So it's an amazing story. She's an amazing person. And that's what I have.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, everybody, as you can hear and see, we have a plethora of different types of books for you all to choose from. this is just another taste of what you can expect for this extravaganza. So hopefully you guys are taking some notes, jotting down the books that you know that you want to grab up once it starts. Make sure that you are signed up and registered where you need to be for the event. I do believe that the website is www.nktribeCalledSuccess.com. Down at the bottom of the screen, if you go there, you'll be able to find all of the information that you need. You can get subscribed. And then, of course, if you head over to Facebook, you will definitely be able to just type in that search engine what you're looking for. You'll get guided right to where you need to be. So there is absolutely no reason that you guys cannot take advantage of this, okay? So I want to, just shift things a little bit because we've heard quite a bit about the books and the things that you're writing about, but now we want to talk about who you ladies are, okay? And so we're going to play a little game. The name of the game is Where's the Lie? Okay? And so this game goes a little bit like this. Everyone is going to tell me three things about themselves. One of them is going to be a lie. The rest of us are going to decide which one is an actual lie. So, if we get it right, we win absolutely nothing. However, we will now know a little bit something extra about all of you on the panel. So, we're going to go ahead and go backwards this time. And, Jean, why don't you tell us three things about yourself?
Okay. I play the bassoon. I played tennis in college, and I lived in the Netherlands.
Okay, I'm going to say living in the Netherlands is a lie. What y'all think?
I'm going to go with bassoon.
I'm thinking tennis.
Tennis. Me too.
Okay. So, Jean, what's the lie?
The lie is tennis. I do not play tennis.
Oh, okay, man. You got that one right. You got that one right. I think you did. You still didn't win that.
There's a story in that bassoon.
Next up, we have Chichi. Why don't you tell us three things about yourself?
What was that?
You can tell us three things about yourself.
Okay, so let's see. I used to practice Krav Maga, which is a form of martial arts. I am a mother of 3 boys, and I was in the Army.
I don't think you was in the Army.
I don't think you have 3 boys.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the 3 boys as well.
I got
That's mine. The 3 boys.
They think that's the lie. Okay, so tell us.
The 3 boys.
Yeah, I do not have 3 boys. I have 2 girls. So I was in the Army, and I did used to practice Krav Maga.
I'm at my own game. This is awful. Okay, that's fine. Well, next up we have Miss Karen Bond. Go for it, man. What's 3 things about you?
Okay. I have 4 children who were born in 3 different countries. I lived in France for a while, and my dad was a preacher.
You're not a preacher's kid.
That's my guess. No PK here.
France?
I'm going number 2.
I'll go with number 1 then.
Number 2. Number 2 was France, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Karen. So where's the lie?
I've never lived in France. I've visited, but I've never lived in France.
Uh,
I ain't got one right yet. Wait, this, edit this differently. I got to win something now. Listen. Okay, well I still got two more chances. All right, so Sonya, you're up.
Okay. My first book was published a month after I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a really creepy stalker in my 20s, which is what inspired Don't Dare Love. And I was a cheerleader in college.
You had a really what? Bee stalker?
Creepy. Creepy stalker.
A what?
Creepy stalker.
Oh, okay. I did hear that right. Okay. Um,
Soccer was enough. I'ma say I'm gonna say that's actually the lie.
I agree.
I'm also going with number 2.
Number 2 was okay.
The stalker one.
I think everyone is, it is a stalker one. I did not have a stalker.
I got it right. I feel like
Thank
maybe you know
goodness.
somebody.
Yes.
I got one right. I need y'all to be excited for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
3 for 1. 3
Please, I've been striking out here a lot. Ooh. I got one more time to go. I might be able to give me another point so I can win nothing. Um, CA, you are up next, and then tell us 3 things about yourself.
Okay. The first one is I published my first book at age 13. The second one, I have traveled to 13 African countries. And the third is my first job was a lifeguard.
I'm gonna go with number 1.
Number 3.
Go with 1.
I'm going to go with 1 as well.
And number 1 is the lie.
Look at me.
You
Go,
go,
Tam.
Thank you. That was fun. I like that. And I really feel like before we go, I wanted to say this. You know, we were talking before we went live and everything, and we were doing some chats and stuff. And I think somebody was supposed to be new to this and supposed to, be nervous. And I can't tell because all of you have come and have told us about your books. I'm excited about all of them. Y'all seem, experienced to me. I don't know who's supposed to be new at this, but it doesn't matter. I want to make sure that I let you guys know before you go that I appreciate you being here on the platform, Tam Telling Tales. Everyone who is watching, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel because I do this, but I also do a lot of other things. I review books and movies and do interviews and all that good stuff, similar to what you see here. And then, of course, before we go, we want to make sure that all of our panelists have an opportunity to tell you where you can reach them. So, ladies, I'm going to just call you guys out, and then you can let them know your social media handles. And then from there, we're going to head on out, and we'll see everybody over on Friday through Sunday of next week. Free books. All right. Okay, so let's see. CA, take it away.
Okay, my socials are on Linktree. So if you go to linktree.com, my handle is at CA Miconi author. I'm also exclusive on Amazon as far as all of my books. So if you type in CA Miconi on Amazon, you'll find all my books there.
Awesome. And then next up, we have Sonya.
Hi, my handle is at author Sonya Jesus, and you can find me on TikTok. I don't post a lot, but I go there. Instagram and Facebook. Most of my books are on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited.
Awesome.
So go
And
find
then we have Miss Karen.
My all my links, my socials are on Linktree as well, and my handle there is at KDJB. And I'm on Facebook. If you search for Katie Bond, you'll find me. Author Katie Bond, you'll find me on Facebook. And on Twitter, I believe it's at Brains for Breakfast. I have to spell that for you. It's BRAINS, the number 4, BKFST. That's my handle on Twitter. But you can find me everywhere. If you go to the Linktree link at KDJB, you'll find all my links there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then next up, we have Miss Chichi.
Yeah, so on IG, you can find me at Chichima Cherry, and that's like Chichi and then Ma. So Chichima Cherry. On TikTok, you can find me at author Chi, and so that's author CHI. And then on Threads, you can find me on at author.chi. But also, if you want to read like any of my other books, because I have an ongoing Kindle Vella story, and I also write children's books under a different pen name, you can find it on the link with a Q. So it's linqapp.com/author chi. And then you can see all the other things that I get into as well.
Awesome. And then we have Miss Jean.
The easiest way to find me most of the time is Jean Knight Pace Writes. You can find me there on Instagram, my Facebook group, and TikTok. Or you can find me at jeannightpace.com. I also under the name J.E. Pace. And so if you sign up later or find me on my website, you'll know everything about me.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we have come to the conclusion of our panel chat for the night. Again, before I go, I want to make sure that I am reminding everyone to head on over August the 4th through the 6th and grab up your free ebook. That website is going to be down at the bottom of the screen for you, www.nktribecultsuccess.com. Again, make sure that you are searching it out, getting your books all ready, taking your notes so that you can take advantage of this awesome event. And after you read those books, make sure that you go back and you guys. I'm Tam. I'm telling tales. Read a book.
Awesome. Thank you.